Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
How did you actually sleep last night? If it didn't feel like your very best rest, then you need to upgrade to the softest, most luxurious bedding from Boll & Branch. Their signature sheets are made from the finest 100% organic cotton and get softer with every wash. Millions of sleepers love their sheets, and right now you can feel the difference for yourself during their biggest sales of the year. Hurry to bollandbranch.com to shop their best offers. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, right here on the Eagles Pin Pull Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stifel, bringing you the fastest, less than 10-minute Eagles podcast daily, covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and sometimes some NFL news, because we'd have some NFL news to cover as well today. Picks, everything. You name it, we do it right here. And we're going to kick it right off here by going over the Wednesday practice injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we do that today. We do it after every practice. We cover the injury report on this show. But there's a reason why I want to start this show off. The limited participants, Saquon Barkley, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Josh Sweat, all got rest days today. Eli Ricks got a limited participant with his groin, so maybe he's trending towards playing. Albert O, Aeneas Smith, full participants. Maybe they're activated, maybe not. Byron Young did not participate as expected. Dallas Goedert, Mekhi Becton did not participate as expected. Becton still dealing with the concussion. We'll cover that in a second. Dallas Goedert still, with the hamstring. But on the practice report, did not participate was Zack Baun, linebacker, with a shoulder injury. And this is a very interesting and very important thing to monitor for the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Eagles released a certain linebacker just last week in Devin White and couldn't find room for him on this team. And we talked about it. Was it a smart move to release him when you've got injury-prone linebackers, when you've got Zack Baun, who hasn't played a full season interior at the linebacker position? And here we are, Zack Baun on the injury report. If he cannot go, what do you do at linebacker? Is it Ben Van Sumeren? Is it somebody else? Devin White, in the NFL news circle on Wednesday, signed with the Houston Texans to their active roster. So he's found a place to go, and they put him right on the active roster. So this is something that could come back to bite us at some point based on all that. Other Eagles news, Jack Driscoll was signed to the active roster off their practice squad. Paris Campbell, who we just released from the practice squad or from the active roster, was signed back to the practice squad. Obviously, nobody wanted him. And they added to the practice squad former Cleveland Browns 2023 third-round pick, nose tackle, defensive tackle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Siaki Ika. With a name like that, I feel like I got to acknowledge him from the bloodline or something like that. But there's something there. Depth on the defensive line, maybe. Maybe there's something there. Former third-round pick. But the Jack Driscoll to the active roster leads me to believe that Mekhi Becton will not be cleared from his concussion this week. Based off a practice report, Fred Johnson was still getting all the left tackle first team reps, which, we're going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. It is an elite offense. How do you beat an elite offense like the Cincinnati Bengals? You run the ball and you control the clock to keep their offense off the field. Their defense is giving up the Cincinnati Bengals 136.1 rushing yards per game, one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. So you got to believe that the Eagles, to protect Fred Johnson, first and foremost, who struggled in pass protection. He blocked well in run blocking, struggled in pass protection, giving up several pressures on Jalen Hurts last week. To get that fixed, what do? You run the ball with Saquon Barkley, who did get a well-deserved day off from practice today. So Jack Driscoll tells me Becton won't be cleared. Fred Johnson also gives you a little depth behind Fred Johnson. Tyler Steen got all the right guard reps in practice today, and from all reports, looked very good again. Tyler Steen, Nick Sirianni spoke before practice, said this is not his first time stepping up in this kind of a moment this year alone, and has done very well in those positions and in that scenario there. So again, the way we keep this offense, because let's be honest, Cincinnati's 3-4, but their offense has been outstanding. Over almost 1,800 yards passing for Joe Burrows, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Obviously Jamar Chase, an elite wide receiver with 6 touchdowns already. T. Higgins, they got a former Penn Stater, Mike Gesicki at tight end, who hasn't scored yet. They got Eagles safety Sidney Brown's brother, Chase Brown, running the ball, averaging 5 yards a carry for them. This offense of the Bengals is very good. I mean, they started out 0-3 this season, but they were still putting up points. They struggled in week 1 against the Pats, didn't put up much there, but they just got outscored by the Chiefs in Washington. Then they've gone 3-1 since then with games against the Panthers, the Giants, the Browns. They did lose to the Ravens, but they beat basically some of the same teams we just beat, the Giants, the Browns. They struggled against the Giants, which that's a positive for us. They didn't blow out the Browns, but that's a division game. The Ravens whooped up on them. It is what it is. The way we beat this Bengals team, and we'll get into keys to victory tomorrow, but I'm already teasing it, is you got to run the ball. And you got to keep Jalen Hurts upright. Jalen Hurts has been sacked 18 times in 6 games, 4 times last week. They only have 12 sacks, the Bengals defense. But Trey Hendrickson has 7 of those 12 sacks, so you got to stop Trey Hendrickson. Another huge key. Other news and notes around the NFL, DeAndre Hopkins, former All-Pro wide receiver, was playing with Tennessee, was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs sometime late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. I saw the news Wednesday morning when I woke up. He was traded for a 5th-round pick that can basically turn into a 4th-round pick, depending on certain criteria being met. The Seattle Seahawks traded linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round pick to Tennessee for Ernest Jones, upgrading their linebacker position a little bit in the process. It's been a red-hot trade deadline so far, and we're still 2 weeks out approximately from the NFL trade deadline. Cooper Kupp's name keeps getting floated around, especially the Eagles. I do not foresee the Eagles making a trade for a wide receiver, especially after just investing a 3rd-round pick in Jahan Dotson. I know there were 7ths and there's a 5th coming back, whatever. They did invest a 3rd-round pick, which is very valuable in in Jahan Dotson. So I don't expect the Eagles to make the move there. I expect pass rush, maybe linebacker, depending on Zack Baun's situation, maybe depth at tight end if Albert O. Well, depending on when Dallas Goedert's coming back, because Albert O ain't anything anyway. So keep an ear to the ground on the trade deadline. It's red hot for this early in the season. There's rumors with the Vikings. There's rumors with the Rams. There's a lot of teams that are in sell mode right now, and the Eagles are a team that want to buy. The Eagles are still trying to sell the story that they're buyers and that they're contending for a Super Bowl. So they're going to be very aggressive, and I fully expect them to do that going forward. But anyway, key thing to look forward to on Thursday is what's going on with Zack Baun. Guys, this is the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network, the fastest 5-10-minute or less Eagles podcast there is. If you want a full longer edition of this show, check out Trend the AM. It's linked in the description every single morning on this show. You can copy and paste it. I do a live YouTube show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Whatever's trending with the Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, you name it, we do it, plus litany of other shows on the STT Sports Network. So make sure you check that out, guys. But for the Pinpool Podcast Network and for Eagles Checkdown, I am Phil Stifle. Go Birds, and bubbles up to y'all.
When you sign up at Work Money, you could win $50,000. With the average renter paying around $2,100 per month, That means you can have rent covered for a whole year and more. So you can be more. And when you're more, that means you get more. And more. Ooh, but not so much of that. Sign up at Work Money. Get money-saving tips. Skip the rent. Get more rich. Sign up at workmoney.org/more-rich contest for your chance to win $50,000.